Namaste, everyone. Welcome to today's Slow Flow class. I am honored to be able to practice with you today. We are going to begin today on our backs. So if you have a bolster or if you have some yoga blocks, I'm going to do it on my yoga blocks today, but you can absolutely use your bolster if you have one at home or if you have even just a really kind of full cushion. So if you do want to start with your yoga blocks, I'm going to place one lengthwise at the top of my mat, and then I'm going to place the other one just slightly below that. And I'm going to be resting the base of my shoulder blades on the yoga block and then resting kind of the occiput of my crown on the yoga block. We're just looking to open up the chest here. If that is something that does not feel comfortable, these can be a little hard on the back, so I totally get that. If you don't want to and you do have a bolster, you can set the bolster right on top of the yoga block lengthwise and just rest your bolster there, and then go ahead and lie down on your back with your spine on the length side of the bolster. We're looking to open up our heart space. So you choose what works best for you, if you want to do it with the bolster or if you want to use the blocks. If you're not sure, you can try one. You can always switch it out, no problem. So I'm just going to take my yoga blocks. It'll take a moment or two just to get myself settled in here. So please just take a moment to kind of make any adjustments. We're just beginning today with a nice opportunity to open up the heart space. So maybe make any adjustments. Maybe if you start with the blocks, like, yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that today, you can always switch over to your bolster. I've got my legs bent, my knees bent, and my feet flat to the floor. You can knock your knees together in constructive rest pose. Just allow your low back to relax. Let your shoulders start to just relax down towards the earth. And feel free to let your arms kind of rest wherever that natural inclination is today. Maybe the palms are down. Maybe you naturally want to open up the palms. And just begin to settle your body. Start to feel the gravity of the earth pulling your body down. Maybe feeling this softening through the throat, softening of the eyes. Maybe you feel a gentle opening of the chest as your arms open out to the side. Begin to soften your jaw and your throat and your tongue. Release from the palate. Notice if you're coming to the mat today with anything that's kind of dragging with you. Maybe some residual thoughts or emotions. We're not going to sweep them under the rug. We're just going to let them be there, acknowledging and honoring our feelings towards them, our sensations, whatever kind of comes to mind. Maybe we've got really happy thoughts and excited thoughts about upcoming things that are happening. You know, our Yogi Pam is going on a beautiful trip to see her granddaughter. And maybe we're thinking of all those nice things. Maybe we honor those feelings without any expectation or any end goal. But just honoring that they're there, No expectation of them doing anything or having to be anything. But we're just acknowledging how we're feeling. Maybe you notice physically spots on the body that are holding on to tension. And then other spots on the body that might feel really nice and relaxed and settled. Maybe you take a moment or two here just to kind of scan the body, bring some awareness to any spots on the body that you might be holding something that you may want to try to let go of. Maybe see if your body can feel a little heavier, can feel a little bit more rooted, a little bit more grounded. Rooting our body with the purest of intentions, of just this idea of presence, of being here. And as you're here with your arms open, maybe we'll slide the arms a little bit more into a T shape. And just from here, notice how that opens and expands the heart space. Perhaps if you'd like, you don't have to, you can keep your knees where they are. You can also explore perhaps bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees open up to the side, finding our Supine Badakanasana. And as you're here, just take a moment to scan the body. Maybe you feel this natural kind of opening of the body, especially with our heart space. This expansive feeling kind of emanates from our heart. And let's go ahead and take a couple of really nice breaths down to the heart space. Maybe even visualizing the breath coming in through the nose, down towards the heart, filling that space up. And then letting go. And then when you're ready, let's gently slide the hands down and taking the hands so that they're on the outer edge. If you're in Badakanasana, they're on the outer edges of the thighs, and gently start to bring the knees in towards center. Maybe readjusting your feet so that they're hip distance apart. Maybe drawing the knees towards center. And then let's go ahead and take our hands to our heart and to our tummy. And let us take a moment here to set our intentions. Our intentions are not a goal. They're not the end result of something that we're going to do to get to a space. It is a state of being. So whether your intention is I am peace, I am breath, I am love, you bring yourself into that space, into that presence, into that being. You are that. And then whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and rest the arms to the side. Toe heel the feet so that they are about hip distance apart. And if it feels comfortable, gently sway the knees side to side in just a real gentle windshield wiper. Maybe your knees don't come all the way down, especially if our sacrum is slightly lifted off the floor. You might just find this flowy feeling starting to re-invite a little bit of movement, a little bit of that energy, that life force. Maybe your naturally eyes are still closed and it just feels really nice and flowy and soft here. We're not rushing. Maybe you're taking this moment to repeat your intention to yourself. And the next time you come back through center, let's inhale and take the arms overhead, palms facing towards one another, shoulders are spread. And then we're going to sweep the arms up overhead, guide the arms in a circular motion all the way down, and then back up again. Like you're making snow angels in the ground. Your arms are opening, your chest is expanding. You're connecting to breath here. Maybe inviting one movement, one breath. Inviting this expansive space within the arms and the chest. Maybe the next time you bring your arms up through center, palms are facing one another, chest remains wide. We'll reverse our direction, guide the arms down, open the palms, sweep the arms to the side, and then come back through center. As you do so, finding that palm, reaching towards the sun, sweeping the arms, and just inviting some movement through the shoulder girdle here. Honoring our body, if anything feels like it's pinching or a little restrictive, maybe we reduce the circle, maybe we go back into that T position with the arms. And just instead invite this opportunity to expand through the heart space, just giving the chest an opportunity to open. If we're doing some arm circles, maybe we'll finish with one more. And then we'll meet with our hand, one hand on our heart, one hand on our tummy. Coming back to self. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and release the arms, and we'll very gently roll onto one side. If we're on a yoga block, just be careful. We're going to roll up, press our hands into the floor, and we're going to make our way into our all fours position. So just slowly make your way there. We're taking care of our knees today. We're making sure that we've got maybe some padding underneath the knees, or we've doubled up our yoga mat just so that we've got some making this as comfortable as possible. With the palms underneath the elbows and everything nicely stacked, the back is nice and long, tops of the feet rest to the floor, grounding and rooting into the hands, knees, and the tops of the feet. Gaze is down. Let's begin to tilt the pelvis, open up the tummy, roll the shoulder blades back, find your cow. Exhale, moving into our cat. And just exploring the movement of the low back and the pelvis, finding that extension, finding that flexion point. Letting the head release down. Just being curious here. Notice if there's any kind of sticking points within the spine. And as we're curious here, let's let go of any expectation. Maybe you feel a little bit like you don't quite have the range quite yet. And just a warming up the body. And really just inviting that connection inward. And just taking this opportunity to slow things down. And just feel into the body. Let's do one more cat, one more cow. When you're ready, go ahead and make your way back into your tabletop position. And let's just go ahead and sit back on our heels for a moment and just sit into hero's pose. And let's just interlace the fingers here. Just create a little movement through the wrists. Being on all fours can be really taxing on the hands and the wrists. Let's just go ahead and just kind of move our wrists, kind of circular motion, just kind of allowing for a little gentle movement here. Maybe you reverse the direction, kind of opposite way. Try to relax into the sits bones. If it doesn't feel good to be here, you can sit up on your heel, in a kneeling position. You can go into child's pose. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and make our way one more time into all fours as we move into our spinal balance. Taking the left arm out, extending the right leg out, finding that length through the spine, feeling the back of the body, turning the gaze to the floor, resting and rooting into the right hand and the left knee, pulling up through the core. And then go ahead and set the left foot down and the right knee down. Inhale, take the right arm and the left leg, finding that lift with the arm in opposition, pulling up through the core, just drawing that awareness to the center of the abdomen. And then go ahead and release the hand and the knee. And let's just flow here. Maybe you want to explore staying there a little longer. Maybe you just want to create a little more heat by building a little bit more tempo, a little bit more momentum. Really just kind of navigate what your body is telling you. Just like a GPS that we put into our cars and in our phones. Listen to the directions that you're being given here. That intuitive self that knows this feels good. Maybe I need to be here a little longer. Maybe this doesn't feel so good. Maybe I need to be here a little less. Connecting breath with body. Reminding yourself of your intention. Really start to feel that intention kind of permeating through the body at a cellular level. Really getting down to that nitty-gritty, kind of embodying that intention from head to toe. And let's do one more on either side. If you need to do maybe 3 more to even out, that's totally fine. And then whenever you're ready, we'll meet in child's pose. Knees wide, press back onto your heels. Take the hands out, perhaps into an extended child's pose. And we're just going to take about 5 breaths here. Breathing into the back body, releasing the low back, the hips. Finding that expansive quality as the forehead rests to the floor and the chest softens. Seeing if we're holding on to anything in the low back here that we really could just shed. And just taking a moment of rest here. And taking this moment to really encompass a sense of stillness through the body. These rest moments are not an opportunity for us to turn back to our to-do list, but rather to tune into a non-to-do list. A state of being and not doing. And then as you're ready, let's go ahead and on our next inhale, shift our weight back into all fours. Hands rest underneath the shoulders. Knees are going to draw in hip distance apart. And we're going to go right into our downward facing dog. So actually, we're going to take the hands maybe slightly forward of the shoulders and just take that crease in the elbow here and see if you can draw it so that the crease is kind of aligned with the thumb. Palms are pressed out and wide, toes curl under, press back, find your downward dog. Now here, as we're going to get into our downward dog, I want you to deeply bend into the knees here. And I want you to explore the sits bones, reaching up to the sky. Maybe even take the feet out wider than the mat, or as wide as the mat. Opening the shoulders down away from the ears, the heart space is soft. Just opening that heart space, pressing the hands into the floor. And if you want to extend the legs gently, go ahead and explore that. Maybe you get to a point where you're just going to keep a little micro bend in the knee. Take a nice few deep breaths here. Try to see if you can release any inclination to tighten through the shoulders, but rather feel soft through the shoulders, connected with the body here. Softening the heels, feeling that lengthening in the back of the body. The sits bones remain wide and lifted. And then on your next inhale, we're going to start to walk our hands towards our feet. But rather than finding our forward fold, we're going to move right into Malasana, into squat pose. Now, you may have a high squat here. That's totally fine. You can even take a yoga block and set it underneath you so that you have some support. You can rest your sits bones down. If your heels lift, that's totally fine. Maybe your hands come into prayer pose and your elbows gently press into the inside of the knees. Good. Wonderful. Just take a moment to lift through the heart space. Try to dip in down to the sits bones and the tailbone. And then whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and release our hands and we can start to press ourselves gently up. So wherever you are, we'll make our way into Uttanasana, into our forward bend. So if you're in Malasana, in our squat pose, you can start to shift your hips back. If you're seated, go ahead and just make your way up and bring yourself into your forward bend. Maybe even take a block with you today. And maybe take a moment here just to really find some space through the low back by opening up the feet nice and wide. It's going to come a little forward here. Block is resting right here, right in between, kind of forward of my feet. Feet are nice and wide. Take a nice big breath and then just release down. Maybe your knees bend, the crown of the head rests down, the shoulders soften. And just finding our Uttanasana, finding that forward fold. This is quite a powerful pose for so many reasons, because it's just, for me, when I look at this, I think to myself, I'm pouring myself down, surrendering down towards the earth, towards gravity, towards release. Maybe you shake your head no. Perhaps you shake your head yes. And perhaps if you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and grab hold of your opposite elbow with your opposite hand and just allow yourself to gently rock from side to side like a pendulum. Releasing the low back, you can rest your hands at your block and just shift your weight side to side, making whatever adjustments we need to make ourselves feel really comfortable here. So just inviting some gentle movement here, not rushing. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and make our way back through center. Feet are still wide, and we're going to release the hands down to the floor. Maybe the tips of the fingers rest as we come into a half lift. So here the tips are resting down, the back is nice and long. Take an inhale and then exhale, release down. Inhale, bend the knees. Nice and deeply exhale, sweep the arms as you slowly keep the chin tucked into the very last minute until we make our way all the way with our palms pressing together, with our hands meeting at our heart center. And we're just going to take a little gentle walking meditation to the top of our mat. So gently just make your way to the top here. Feet are going to be about hip distance apart. Let's release the hands out to the side, finding our way into Tadasana, into our mountain pose. As you press the feet into the floor, the expanding of the hands, reaching down towards the earth, the heart space is open, gaze may be open or closed. Just take a moment here to just tune in, reconnect with the earth, pressing the feet in, really finding that connection from the earth upwards. Rooting in and finding that beautiful sense of stability, that sense of support that's always there. And then as you're ready, go ahead and flutter your eyes open if they were closed. Release the arms out to the side. And let's go ahead and take our left foot back. And we're going to meet ourselves in the long side of the mat with our body slightly turned, toes externally rotated to the corners, heels pulled in. And we're going to take a nice few bit of sunflowers here. So go ahead and sweep the arms up, reaching and expanding the body. And just go ahead and make your way at whatever pace is calling to you here. Find that expansiveness through the arms, that energy from the legs up. drawing the inner thighs wide, and just finding that length through the body here. Wonderful. Maybe start to notice a little bit more heat starting to build up. You start to notice the muscles in the body working. See if you can find a little more softness here, a little less strain, a little more flow. Wonderful. Let's do a couple more. Maybe you repeat as you're moving your mantra, you're not your mantra, your intention. Good. One more. And then whenever you're ready, release the hands, set them to the side. Turn your feet inward so that the toes are facing the front of the mat. Rest your hands at your hip space here. And then gently, maybe with a slightly bend in the knee, come forward into a forward fold. Lengthening through the crown, forward, down through the tailbone. The back is long. Maybe you want to explore going down a little deeper into this forward bend, straddle splits. Maybe you rest your hands at the block. Maybe you explore further by extending the arms out and finding hammock pose here, allowing the heart space to drip down, allowing the head to soften, the arms to expand out. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and make your way back in towards center. Hands are resting directly underneath the shoulders. Bend into the knees, set one hand on top of one thigh, the other hand on top of the other. Tuck the chin under so that it's pressing down towards the chest, and then start to press your feet into the floor, rounding your body until you come all the way back up into a standing position. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and turn our right foot out, meet our right with our left, make our way into Tadasana. From here, we're going to go into some sun salutations. As you're ready, inhale, extend the arms out to the side, reaching tall. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, come into your half arch, hands rest at the shins. Exhale, come down. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. And then press back onto your heels, finding your chair. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, expand out the arms, swan dive down to a forward fold. Inhale, make your way into your half arch, lengthening the back. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms, extend the arms up overhead, finding Uttanasana. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen up the arms, reaching tall. We're going to expand on our sun salutation. Exhale, out to a strong T. Lead with the heart, forward fold. Inhale, reach into that half arch. Exhale, release down. Inhale, take the right foot back, finding your low lunge, framing the front foot with both hands. Lead with the back foot, front foot back, finding your downward dog. From here, We'll release forward into a plank position. Maybe you stay here and we go into our Vinyasa flow. Maybe you come onto your knees. As we come down towards the earth, bending the elbows, finding our way down and lifting up into Cobra. Lifting the heart space, shoulders pull back, heart lifts. Exhale, make your way back down. Press back, child's pose. Take a moment of pause here. Beautiful. On your way back in, on your next inhale, find your tabletop. Curl your toes under, feet maybe wide. Press back, downward dog. Take your feet now towards the center. We're going to press into that left foot as we inhale to guide the right leg up towards the sky. On your exhale, we'll draw that right foot in between the hands, setting it down, finding our low lunge. Taking our left foot forward, finding our Uttanasana, our forward bend. Inhale, bend the knees. Press into the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Coming back in. Find your Uttanasana, your chair pose. Inhale, extend and lengthen the legs. Exhale, meet with the hands down at your heart center. Take a moment of pause here. Take a moment just to notice your breathing. Just take a moment to tune in. How's your body feeling? And we're going to move through that one more time. And you are absolutely free to do a different rendition of it. Maybe you want to do a half sun salutation. Maybe there's something else that right as we flow through the sun salutation, you want to just follow your own rhythm. So I encourage you at home to just kind of tune in to what feels best for you right now. Maybe you simply rest in Tadasana. As you're ready, sweep the arms down and up, coming into our lengthened position. Exhale, extend the arms out to a strong T, lead with the heart to a forward fold. Inhale, make your way into your half arch. Exhale, release down. This time taking the left foot back, taking a nice big step back into that low lunge position. And then go ahead and set both hands on either side. Press back with that right foot, finding downward dog. And just take a moment here to settle yourself in here. Just notice if you're keeping your core engaged so that you're really keeping the pelvis and the low back nice and protected. Once you're here in downward dog, when you're ready, go ahead and shift your weight forward, make your way into your plank, and either flow into a vinyasa, maybe come to your knees and flow that way, or rest in your downward dog. Finding your cobra, and then resting down. Curl the toes under, press back, child's pose. Take a few breaths here, settling the body in. Wonderful. On your next inhale, shift back into that all fours position, curl the toes under, and let's go ahead and meet in our downward dog. Pressing back through the heels. Try to relax in through the neck and through the jaw. Bring the feet back in towards center. This time, rest a little bit of the weight into the right foot as you extend the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee, draw it all the way forward, rest it between the two hands. Find that low lunge. Good. And then go ahead and take that right foot and meet in forward fold. So we're going to take that right foot forward all the way into our forward fold position. Just take a moment to get yourself settled in here. Good. Bending into the knees. Let's reverse swan dive the arms out to the side. Arms shoulder distance apart, press back onto your heels, find your Uttanasana, find your child chair pose. Notice anything here. Maybe you feel the back working here. Maybe if you're straining through the arms, you take the arms forward. Inhale, press into the feet, start to lengthen through the legs. Let's press the palms together and meet at our heart center. Let's just take a moment of pause here. Maybe you're naturally inclined to close the eyes here as you take this moment of pause, just as a way to just kind of center your attention. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release your arms and start to flutter your eyes open. Good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our 2 yoga blocks next. So let's just make sure we have them on either side. And I'm just going to set them kind of right on the outer edges of my mat, the inner edges of my mat, so that one is on either side so we can reach down to them with our hands. You don't have to use the blocks, but if you want to, they're there for you. You can also set them aside if you don't want to have them. So beginning at the top of our mat with our feet hip distance apart, slight softness in the knees. Shoulders are gently pulled back, gaze is forward. Let's begin on our next inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down, lead with the heart, forward fold. Inhale, make your way into your half arch. Exhale, release down into a forward bend. Place the hands on the yoga blocks and let's take the right foot back, pressing the heel back as we make our way into our lunge position. And just take a moment of pause here to really find that length through the spine and to press in through the heel and just gently opening up the hip. When you're ready, go ahead and set that right knee down. Keep the hands on the block, maybe shift them a little bit back. Lengthen through the spine. And here you can even adjust actually your blocks to a higher position, lengthening through the spine here. Opening up the right hip. Try to soften into this space. We might start to naturally feel some tension emanating in through the shoulders. See if you can find a little bit of release here. Release through the neck or release through the hips. As you're ready, we're going to inhale, press and release the arms up towards the sky, finding our kneeling crescent pose. Lift up through the belly button to keep the core nice and engaged, pelvis nice and stable. On your next exhale, release the hands down to the blocks. Reset them so that they're on their medium height. Curl the toes of the right foot under, lift the right knee, shift that right foot, make your way back into your forward bend. Releasing the hands down to the floor. And maybe you have a little micro bend in the knee. Release the neck. On your next inhale, take your hands, finding your half arch, using the core here. So leading with the heart, back is long, energize through the back of the body here. Exhale, release down to the floor. Inhale, bend into the knees, sweep the arms all the way back up. Take your time coming here, don't rush. Press your palms together, meet with your hands back at your heart. Take a moment of pause here. Wonderful. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and sweep the arms all the way up and over. Exhale, swan dive down, forward bend. Reach the hands towards the floor. Inhale, make your way into your half arch. Exhale, release down. Take your hands, set them on the blocks. Take your left foot back, finding your low lunge here. Knee stacks on top of ankle, back leg reaches long, spine is long. Just begin by opening up the hip here, trying to release any tension through the neck. And then if you want to, set your left knee down to the floor. Rest the top of the foot, lengthen through the spine, leading with the heart forward. Shoulders pull back. Maybe you even adjust the block so that you have a little bit more length, a little more opportunity to release also through the hip. Allow the natural pull of the earth down to open up the hip space. On your next inhale, release from the blocks, extend the arms up, find your kneeling crescent pose. Arms rest down away from the ears. And then on your next exhale, release down. Bring your blocks back to that medium height. Curl your left toe under. Lift your left knee off the ground. Shift your weight into the right. Bring your left foot forward. Find your Uttanasana. And go ahead and take your blocks and just set them forward. Slight bend of the knee here. Inhale, find your half arch. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale, bend into the knees, sweep the arms up all the way to the sky. And this time, let's meet with a little chest expansion, opening up the arms out to a cactus, opening up the heart space, drawing the shoulder blades back. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down one last time into our forward fold. And this time, take your right foot back and then your left. And let's meet one last time in downward dog. Drawing the heels down towards the earth and the shoulders pull away from the ears. Take a big breath in and then just sigh it out. And then whenever you're ready, set your knees down. Press back onto your heels, child's pose. This time, bring your elbows in. Soften your heart, soften the low back. As you're ready, next time shift forward. And let's make our way onto our seat. So as we make our way onto our seat, we'll go ahead and extend the legs out long, knowing that you can always prop yourself up slightly, just a little bit so that you're a little lifted off the floor if that feels better for your back. Legs are just going to be extended. Feet are going to be gently flexed. And we're going to go ahead and sweep the arms up tall. So as you're here, reaching tall, tailbone down towards the ground, fingertips reaching up, creating a little bit of space through each of the vertebrae. On your next exhale, gently fold yourself forward. Maybe you let your back slightly round. Maybe you want your back a little more active and your heart leading a little more forward. It depends on what feels best for you. Still keeping a little bit of that rooting down through the tailbone here, and the sits bone, so that your pelvis is not tilting forward with you, but rather pretty stable and keeping that upper body nice and lengthened here. Releasing the neck down. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your hands back towards center. And we're going to go into Sukhasana here. So go ahead and bend your knees so that your knees are in that crisscross position. And we'll go ahead and inhale with our arms up overhead. And then gently turn towards the left and gently come into a really nice, gentle twist. Maybe you've got a little lift of that right hip kind of guiding with you towards the left, which is totally fine. Really honor that space in the sacrum and in the SI joint here. Good. Inhale, sweep both hands up towards center, and then gently twist towards the opposite side. Maybe you've got a little guiding of that left hip over towards the right. Beautiful. And then make your way back towards center. Wonderful. And then let's go ahead and lengthen the legs with the knees bent. Actually, just release from your easy seated pose. And then let's go ahead and roll ourselves down, and let's bring our knees with us today. Finding our knees to chest. Connecting into the back of the body here. Maybe you invite a little movement through the body. Maybe rock yourself side to side. Maybe not. Maybe you just want to hold on to this knees to chest here. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, keeping your left knee in towards your heart, extend the right leg long. And from here, we're going to count down from 20 as we release the right leg to the right corner of the mat. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the left leg long. And on a count of 20, we'll slowly release down to the earth. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As we make our way in our Shavasana today, take this opportunity to simply draw your awareness to your breath. Allow your body to connect down to the earth. Allow yourself the opportunity to invite this quiet stillness, both in the mind and in the body. Before we start to reawaken, let's first begin with breathing into the belly. And really slowly start to invite a little bit of movement through the hands and through the feet. Just feeling back into the body. And then we'll roll on to our favorite side here and just take a moment or two here. And then whenever you're ready, really just take your time and maybe even just keep your eyes closed for that little bit longer. Just slowly making your way up into a seated position. As we press our hands in Anjali Mudra as a symbol of unity, as a symbol of one, but also one of balance, connecting the right and the left side at our center. The gentle bow of our head towards our hands and to the earth. May we be reminded of our intention, reminded that our intention is always available to us whenever we need it. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad, and may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. As always, from my heart to yours, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that your heart feels as full as mine. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon rather than later. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye.